So first, let what is the meaning of blueprinting? Any comments? What is the literal meaning of blueprinting?
Is it like a roadmap to the curriculum, sir?
Yes, I mean, whenever we make any blueprint, I mean, it literally means that we are just planning that what we want to achieve and what we want to do and how are we going to proceed and how we are going to assess. So there is a very scientific process which is called blueprinting, and so it's generally something which is intended as a guide when we are making something. It may be anything. We may be just making a planning a travel or anything or any design or first make a blueprint that these are our requirements and according to these requirements we will move forwards. So and it is we make a plan of action or outline in it in technical terms. So similarly in medical education we design a curriculum and accordingly we make how are we going to proceed. The word blueprinting has arisen from the automobile industry and or the way architects they make their houses. So it was first used as at construction and industry, and later on it was used in car modeling and animation stories and boarding, etc. And basically, it is used in those areas where we want a detailed plan of action before executing finally. In education, it is used by teachers, administrators, researchers. So, in education, what is blueprinting? It provides students an interactive approach for education planning to meet the curriculum expectations and learning objectives. So, in a test, a blueprint is basically known as the specifications, which provides the examination strategy at an institution at a glance. How many questions, what topics, or in a when we take up some, we design a curriculum, we decide how many lectures, what competencies should be there in the student, what will be the way we will proceed, whether we will have a practical or how many, which patients, what knowledge input, what cognitive input, etc. we will be creating. So, and then in the form of matrices, we will create it in a tabular form. And basically, it specifies all the elements of performance in which at the end the students need, and so that the appropriate samples of activities and corresponding methods can be selected according to the relative importance in the overall assessment process. So, in an exam, we can create what test items are of a test are judged to adequately represent well-defined domains of content and generalizable. What are the generalizable samples? So, basically, a blueprint is has got multiple uses in education and for the assessment of test specification, for example, in examinations, then evaluating the time management and strategy to achieve the desired outcomes, the educational administrators for curriculum development and to design the comprehensive sequenced career development learning opportunities. So all these activities are come under blueprinting, and researchers and evaluators they design the learning plans using a blueprint. It can also be called that parents, guardians, they help young children to develop their career, and it's basically a planning process. So, what are its features? It is a matrix or chart reporting the number and type of test questions, or the, this is in the context of an examination. The questions they represent the topics in the content area, uh, or the questions, whatever is the learning objective for each topic, and it also identifies the percentage of weighting of various cognitive dimensions. The purpose is involved that it provides a conceptual map in the examination format and also in the various portions of the curriculum, and it measures the, the type of measurement tools we are using in assessing the items and weighting the respective column of learning objectives. And it is readily available document which contains various lists of topics and the various the way we have to move forward. It is also the term sometimes used is curriculum mapping, which is used in this, and quite often the validity of the content which we create for assessment. It provides a clear framework for the students or researchers or to design items which assess the concept of thinking skill listed in a test blueprint. Now, curriculum map or blueprint. This basically contains all the requirements of creating a curriculum, its objectives, which portion of the curriculum is to be taught first by which method. For example, supposing a person has to take, I'll just take an example. Suppose somebody has to take a test for driving license. Now, for a person who is to take a test for driving license, how will we design his curriculum? So basically, not only demonstration, he should be doing it also. He should be actually, there is some knowledge component and some cognitive component and some actual
Feels also.
psychomotor skills also. He should be actually driving.
Right,
So all
right,
the
right, right.
portions they have to be touched, and the after that only he will be able to we will be able to create a curriculum for driving, and followed by an assessment. Here we cannot only give him a copy and read all about driving. It's not possible, and this is what is happening in our systems. Quite often students, they are learning computers, or even in colleges they are just mugging up things. So till they all the three components, that is the cognitive, affective, psychomotor, all three are not involved, we cannot have a proper curriculum. So at the beginning in the blueprint, we must make a map, a curriculum map, in which we should be very crystal clear what we want to achieve, and create a roadmap of how we are going to incorporate all those competencies. A separate lecture is there on competency based learning, which will be taken next to next week. So, there is something known as Bloom's taxonomy, which I am sure all of you are well conversant with, the various verbs which are to be used, and it also provides the uh, s- how we use the formative and the summative assessment, and based also on the that we have to create a blueprint. So we will, the various levels, we should know at what level we are supposed to do what, and whether there is we want a recall of information or discovery or observation or listing, and whether we want to incorporate how much the students will be, whether they are understanding and ultimately reach the synthesis levels. So we must find out the initial stage and then gradually build on this Miller's pyramid. So there is a revised Bloom taxonomy. I hope you all know from earlier that earlier it was synthesis and evaluation, and now it is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and evaluating, and followed by creating. This is the new change. The earlier it was knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So now they have created a new level, that is creating. So the various steps in creating a blueprint, we first do the content analysis. What basically, whether we want for which subject, whether it is for anatomy, physiology, or medicine, or surgery, or what it is. See, supposing it's one chapter, we see all the content which is available, and then we decide that how many hours or how much which methodology we will use to teach which particular portion of the content, and followed by the teaching of that particular content, we determine our learning objectives, whatever the learning objectives are there, and we decide that okay, at the end of this curriculum, this chapter, or this course, we what should the student be able to do in a measurable form, and this is followed by the deciding what we need to do, and in whether a knowledge component is needed, or affective domain is more needed, or a psychomotor area needs to be involved more, and the number of items or number of activities for each topic based learning objective, and we incorporate this into it, and then in assessment we decide the type of questions we are going to ask, and so firstly the content analysis, it is means to divide the whole content of the curriculum or syllabus into a systematic tabular form, and topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4, and decide the learning objective, and what according to the Bloom's taxonomy, what is the knowledge level which we are going to incorporate, whether it is just comprehension or right up to creation, what level, whether it's postgraduate level or undergraduate level, we incorporate, what should be the understanding level, and what should be the application level. Just as we took the example of the course on the driving license, a driving course, we just see what is whether how many hours of driving should be given single handedly, how many what knowledge component has to be given, and what kind of activities he should do, rather like reversing or forward or passing through certain traffic, at what level he is to be involved and taught. The same applies to the undergraduate levels. The first prof student may not be taught, even if there is early clinical exposure, that much details as much a final year students need to be taught. And a gradually incremental approach is taken from first prof to final prof, and so as to build upon what the student already knows. According to the subtopic, we decide how much the knowledge, how much understanding, and how much application has to be there in various topics. So, and at the end, we decide in the questions while making an examination how much items, how many from each part they need to be incorporated. So, quite what we see in our own medical colleges, quite often this portion is the most. We have made curriculum committees large number of curriculum committee has been made compulsory in every medical college. But that curriculum committee, if it just makes a blueprint for the teachers, that is not there. The main job of the curriculum committee is to create blueprints so that what is being taught in anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and linking the various subjects in the way the curriculum moves. Thank you.